we are on our way to Denver International Airport to fly to Orlando once again. I know what some of you are saying, Disney again, and to that I respond, Disney yes, yes again, Disney always again. We like to do overnight flights because when we're flying to California for Disneyland, you can leave in the morning at 8 o'clock and the flight's only a couple hours, and with the time difference you gain an hour, so you can leave here at 8 in the morning, you can get there about 9:30 in the morning, and it's great. But if you're flying to Orlando, you lose the 2 hours, so if you leave at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're not in Orlando until 1, and then you have to get your car and go to the hotel or wherever you're staying, and half your day is wasted. So we like to do overnight flights, so on that first day we can actually get something done and not waste half a day. We booked an Airbnb, so as soon as we get there, we will get our car and travel to our Airbnb. So this will be a great trip. We made it to Orlando International Airport, MCO, which stands for McCoy. It used to be an airfield. Now we have to go get our car and then head to the Airbnb. But first we get to ride the tram to the baggage area. Normally we book with budget or, no, I forget the other one. Alamo, that's the other one. Because I go through Costco Travel, which you should look it up if you have Costco and you need a rental car. But this time I tried that Priceline name your own price, and I put in a ridiculously low amount of like $15 or something, and Hertz took it. So we are heading to Hertz to check in and get our car, and we'll see how it goes. Sometimes in California we don't have great luck using Hertz, where you have a reservation but they don't have any cars available. I don't think that's going to be the case here, but we'll find out. We decided to take the tram today rather than walk in, since we're going to be doing a lot of walking, and it happened to be right there as we were coming in. And oh, you can just barely see it through the trees there, but the monorail's going by very slowly, it would seem. We just made it into the Magic Kingdom, yay! And it's pretty crowded and warm here. My watch says it's 83 degrees now, and it's about 11:30 in the morning, and we are walking through. Oh look, there's Stitch over there. That's pretty cool. You don't usually see Stitch out. He's not one of the ones you see very often on particularly on Main Street. You might see him over in Tomorrowland. So here we go. Here's the money shot. The castle straight ahead. Having gotten in super early in the morning, we haven't had any breakfast. So here you're on the parks, and like I said before, it's about 11:30ish, and we haven't eaten anything. So we're heading over to Liberty Square. We're gonna go to the Columbia Harbor House because we've heard that they have a really good fresh chicken pot pie, as fresh as anything is when it's mass produced. So let's take a look and see what that is. And look over there, there's the castle again, yay! Walt Disney refers to things like the castle as the weenie, like what draws you into a land is the weenie. And so the castle is that for Fantasyland. Josh got the New England clam chowder, and I got the pot pie, which comes with vegetables, but it was all green beans, and I'm not a big fan of green beans, although I like most other vegetables. So we got the fries instead. And we also got a blueberry cobbler that I can't wait to dig into. And there's nothing more American than having French fries, French fries American, with barbecue sauce. Yummy. The review of the chicken pot pie is that it was pretty good, better than those banquet ones you get, but not as good as, say, Boston Market. But it was pretty good. I put some hot sauce on it because everything's better with hot sauce. And Josh had the clam chowder. How was it, Josh?
Pretty good.
So Josh says the clam chowder is pretty good. He liked the blueberry cobbler. I was meh on it. The French fries were, you know, French fries. They were pretty good. We're gonna go on to the Haunted Mansion. It's a 45-minute wait. We don't have any fast passes for Magic Kingdom because all of our fast passes are for Animal Kingdom tonight, which we'll be heading to later. So we just have to wait in lines here. So we may ride only a few rides before we actually head over to Animal Kingdom. So we could see the Rivers of Light, which is their new nighttime show that takes place on the big lake that they have there. In the Haunted Mansion queue, they have these busts, and apparently there's parts of the bust that give you a clue as to who the murderers are. Like, here's this guy, and he has a bunch of money and stuff, but if you look over here at the twins, they also have a bag of money there. So does that mean that they offed him and took the money? It's possible, but it's those little touches that make Disney World, Magic Kingdom, or anything Disney so interesting. The Madame Leota headstone's eyes will open and look around, and her head will move and her mouth will move a little bit. It's pretty cool and creepy. Because we go to Disney World so often, I'm often asked about tips for going to Disney World. So I'm gonna pepper some tips throughout these as I think of them. So the first tip I have is Memory Maker is worth it. So Memory Maker is where you pay some money and then you can have your pictures taken by the professional photographers, and then it shows up on your phone a few minutes later. And there's also Wi-Fi in the parks so that you can get access to your phone pictures or anything on the internet while you're in here. It's worth it because those photographers are everywhere and they're in all the spots where you want to take pictures. So you can either have pictures with everybody in it taken by a professional photographer, where sometimes they'll add animations or really cool things, or you can have selfies all day long, which are not bad, or you can have pictures where one person's not in the picture because they're taking the pictures. So it's usually about $150. I know that sounds like a lot, but if you're here for 3 or 4 days and you get as many pictures as you can end up with hundreds and hundreds of pictures, and then you just pick out the best ones you want to make a photo album or put on Facebook, whatever you want. So that's my first tip. The Memory Maker or the Photo Pass is worth it. Hey, look what they're doing. You know how Coke had all those names on their bottles? Now they have different places in Disney. So this one says at the castle, but we've also seen one at Space Mountain as well. So I'm gonna see how many of these I can find. Next ride up is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, the wildest ride in the wilderness. And look up there, there's Big Thunder Mountain, if you can call that a mountain. We have gone from Frontierland, where Big Thunder Mountain Railroad was. Now we're heading to Adventureland, so I can get a frozen treat. I thought about getting the Dole Whip, but I think I'll save that for Sunday, or maybe when I'm in Epcot, because they also serve them there, or Animal Kingdom actually. But I'm gonna get the orange and vanilla swirl. So here's a quick poll. How many of you like orange and vanilla swirl? And how many of you hate orange and vanilla swirl? I like it. Josh doesn't like it because he doesn't like citrus and dairy together. And I know some people share that opinion. So let me know in the comments below if you like or don't like the orange and vanilla creamsicle, essentially. One of the things I like about Disney is if they're doing repairs or doing resurfacing or whatever, rather than just putting up a big wall, they usually put up what's called a scrim, where it looks like what it's covering so that it's not so stark. I mean, obviously it's a printed fabric, but it's better than just a bunch of walls up saying, "Pardon our dust." Here we are in Tomorrowland, and we're gonna ride the People Mover. The long name of that is the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. We were going to get a dessert for Josh here, which was a coffee float. So it was like a coffee, and they put vanilla soft serve ice cream in it. Only we just found out that they don't have it anymore in the park, so now we're very disappointed. I'm not a coffee fan, but I actually love that stuff. We're on the People Mover, yay! People Mover is a vehicle that takes you around Tomorrowland, and Previews places like Space Mountain, which is right over there, with what looks like the Hall of Justice right next to it.
The People Mover is the perfect vehicle for people watching, so keep your eyes peeled. You never know who you
There's the Astral Orbiters up there, the spinner ride. We've never ridden that actually. Occasionally you also get a pretty good view of the castle if you go through here, as you can see. So this is Cinderella's castle as opposed to Sleeping Beauty's castle in California. So there's Minnie over there, and Daisy over here, and we're going to meet them both. We have pictures with them, well, in different outfits. This is Minnie Magnifique, something French, and then Daisy as a gypsy fortune teller. The line was short, so we thought we would enjoy some air conditioning while we waited. We're leaving Magic Kingdom. Look, the train's coming in, and it's the beautiful Mickey flower thing. We're leaving Magic Kingdom on the way to Animal Kingdom. All of a sudden I forgot. And we're gonna take the monorail again. We took the monorail in. One thing a lot of people don't know is that you can't park at the Magic Kingdom. You can park at the other 3 parks, but you don't park at the Magic Kingdom. You park at the Ticket and Transportation Center, and then you either have to take a ferry or you have to take a monorail over to Magic Kingdom. So now we're heading up to the monorail to go back to our car so we can drive to drive to Animal Kingdom. So I'll catch up with you then. We're in Disney's Animal Kingdom, which is a cross between an amusement park and a zoo. And they actually have some attractions. Check out these parrots. Those are pretty cool. They're just hanging out. The icon of Animal Kingdom is the Tree of Life, which you can see straight ahead. It's not a real tree, but it looks like one. And carved into it are a number of animal faces and bodies and such. The story is that they built it around an oil derrick because it was the only structure that was big enough and wide enough around to have a tree that big. And all of those leaves were hand painted. It's beautiful. And as you can see, people like to get their picture taken in front of it because it's the big deal. We're about to board the Kilimanjaro Safaris, which you board a vehicle and they take you around, and it's very much like a safari. You get to see giraffes and elephants and lions and other animals that they have in the zoo essentially, but they're all roaming free. It's this sort of open zoo.
Species of the hyena. They are a female-dominated species. The highest-ranking male will still be lower than the lowest-ranking female. Dicey sable antelope, springbok, and obviously giraffe. Giraffes being 6 feet tall when they are first born, so if you're a full-grown human, they'll be looking that make them look like a wild beast. I also see another little springbok. Wildebeest will sleep in rows. They get their security of sleeping in a group, but the spacing to run if a predator should wake them while they are sleeping. They use this as a natural sunblock to prevent themselves from getting sunburned. I see a little teeny tiny baby elephant. When the mother elephant gives
We just got out of the Festival of the Lion King, which is the live show where there's acrobatics and singing and stage work. It's pretty cool, actually. There's a reason why it's been around for a really long time, and they built a special theater just for it because it's so popular. Every time we go, no matter how busy the park is, it's packed. So I recommend seeing that anytime you come here. I'll post some clips. We are going to have dinner at the Yak and Yeti restaurant, which we eat at fairly often when we come here because it's our favorite restaurant in this park. There's other restaurants, Tiffin's, which is higher end, and we're not really that big of a fan of the menu, and then Tusker House, which is all you can eat, which we're also not a big fan of all you can eat, so this is the place we usually go to. We're just waiting for them to call our name. We're here a little bit early, but I'm hungry. We decided to get an appetizer dinner, so we got wonton soup, and we got the lettuce wraps, which look really good. And then we got firecracker shrimp. Josh has put the lime on. That looks pretty good. We'll let you know how it tastes when we're done. We finished off dinner with the pineapple wontons. So it's a cream cheese in the wonton with pineapple and strawberries and some kind of sauce and ice cream. It's really good, actually. Kind of messy, but it's delicious. They came as a big kebab, so we had to take everything off to eat it. Our review of Yak and Yeti, what we had. So the wonton soup, very, very good.
Very good.
It's kind of
broth.
It's hard to screw up wonton soup. It's been done, but it's hard to do that. And the firecracker shrimp, delicious. Kind of reminds me of the stuff that you can get at Bonefish Grill.
Oh, yes.
They have a firecracker kind of shrimp. And then there's also, what else do we have?
Lettuce cups.
The lettuce cups, which are sort of like the ones you can get at Pay Away or P.F. Chang's. But these I felt were actually better. Not that I don't like those. I haven't met a lettuce cup I didn't like. But they were pretty good. So I recommend Yak and Yeti. Usually we get the tikka masala, which this time we decided to get a bunch of appetizers instead of an actual entree. And we don't regret it. We're getting in line for Expedition Everest, which is a roller coaster. We rode it earlier with the Fast Pass, and since we have some time to kill, we're gonna ride it again. It's a 30-minute standby time. Normally has single rider, but it's in, they're refurbishing it right now, the single rider line, so should have to go through the standby line. Anyway, it's a really fun roller coaster. So in this park, it's probably the best ride. We'll see if that remains to be true when they open Pandora, which will be opening in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, Memorial Day. Right now it's in cast member previews, and then it's annual pass holder previews. But I have an annual pass, Josh doesn't, but I signed up too late anyway, so I couldn't get into the preview. That starts tomorrow for the annual pass holders. So we missed it, but next time we come, we'll do it. Check out the crowd for Rivers of Light. That's the dining plan and Fast Pass, or not the Fast Pass, the dining plan and the standby seating over there. We're in the Fast Pass seating, which is all of us here and people over there. I'm not going to put up any video of Rivers of Light because there's plenty already online that you can find, but this is where it's all going to happen. I mentioned that we were staying in an Airbnb, and it's actually pretty nice. So if you don't know what Airbnb is, it's people will rent out rooms in their home. So this is our bathroom that we have all to ourselves, which is pretty cool. And then just down over here, we have a room to ourselves. It's not a very big room, but you know, it's a queen bed, it has a ceiling fan, has a TV on the wall in case you want to turn that on that has Netflix.
I can't figure out.
But otherwise, it's pretty cool. And it's a lot cheaper than staying in a hotel, especially a Disney hotel. All right, so we've come to the end of the night. We spent today at Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom. We got to see Rivers of Light for the first time, probably the first of many times. My review of it is that it was okay. I think World of Color does it better. Fantasmic is better, but it's worth seeing, and I'd give it about a B, B+, mostly a B. So tomorrow we'll be spending time in Hollywood Studios, and then we'll be going to Epcot to go to the World Showcase. So I will check in with you then.